You're listening to the Ask Ava podcast, where we give real answers to real questions from teens and young adults about relationships, consent, dating violence, and more. My name is Jessica Scoltetti. I'm an outreach and community education manager at Safe and Sound Somerset. We are Somerset County, New Jersey's lead domestic and sexual violence organization for services and prevention. And we have free services for children, teens, and adults. So today we're joined by Safe and Sound Somerset volunteer Ella Blank, who goes to the University of Maryland. Hi, Ella. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we have a question today that is a bit complicated to answer. So I'm really curious to hear your take on this. Today's question is, if my friend is scared, can I report sexual harassment to my school? And I wanted to start off by saying that if someone is in danger, so let's say there's a threat of self-harm or suicide or hurting someone else, or somebody is being abused by their caregiver, like a parent, family member, and they're a minor, that is a situation that you need to report. Um, and and in that situation, it's not easy to do that, but even then you may want to involve your friend. And we're going to talk about that, I think, today a little bit about why. But this question otherwise doesn't have an easy answer because for me, we want to focus on what your friend wants. And sometimes we might want to report something, but it's really going to depend on the danger of the situation and what your friend wants.
Mhm.
So Ella, what is your take on that?
I definitely agree with you. I think, like you said, it can be a hard situation to navigate, especially because at the end of the day, you do want to be supporting your friend. But like you said, I think that if the person that you know is in direct danger, then their safety comes first, and it is something that you have to report. If you talk to your friend about it and they say that they aren't in direct danger, that you don't suspect that it's something that needs immediate attention, you could always make it clear that you have resources for them, that you are a resource for them. Make it known that they have a support system. But like you said, gauging the level of danger that the person is in is super important, because if you are suspecting that they are in an unsafe position, then it's super important that you do report. And I think that should be prioritized before anything else.
Yeah, and I wondered if we could talk a bit more about that, about even if it's in danger, how can we involve our friend in that situation? So I'm just going to start off by saying one thing you can say, and then of course I want to hear from you, Ella. If it's a situation where someone's in danger, someone could say like, listen, I need to report this because someone's in danger. I'd like you to come with me if you want to. Or how
Mhm.
how would you like to be involved with this process of me reporting? How can I support you? Because then you're bringing your friend into that conversation. You're not just leaving them out. So, yeah, Ella, what did you want to add to that?
I was gonna say, I think that's super important and can actually be very helpful to the situation, because then you know that your friend is involved. They're aware of how you're feeling about the situation. And by including them, I think that it can make both of you more comfortable in knowing that the situation is being handled in a way that they have a say, but also that you are presenting the urgency in reporting. And I think getting your friend involved is super important and can honestly make you feel better that they are involved in their situation.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just thinking about how a friend might want to be supported. If you know your friend's already scared and you care about them, right? Like, what are some other ways that you think we can support that person through this difficult time?
I think, like you said, if they are scared, first of all, by being a friend and being a resource, you could talk to them about the reasons why they're scared. And in those situations, I think reassurance and letting them know that they have options, they have a support system, can help them with that scared feeling. Knowing that they have the support from you is definitely a big one. And I think knowing that the reporting is because that you or that doesn't make sense. Having them know that you are reporting something because you have their best interest at heart, can really bring to light that you are trying to support them and you're not trying to make the situation worse or more complicated. It's genuinely for their best safety and interest.
Yeah, I was just thinking too, related to that, for their best interests. Like, again, I feel like you really want your friend to understand why you're reporting. And again, only if
Mhm.
I would say only if they're really in danger, right? And like, if even if let's say they want to report and it's not a danger situation, like no one's immediate safety is threatened, but they want to report, I think either way, another thing you could do is just be like, hey, let's write everything down. Like this might be difficult, but like having a record of it, if they don't already, I can sit there and support you with it, right? Or you can tell me what happened and I'll write it. Like whatever, if you're able to provide that for your friend, that could be really helpful. I was also just thinking about like spending time with them outside of this because your friend is obviously going through a difficult time, and a lot more people go through sexual harassment and assault than we sometimes even know. So, just telling them, listen, you're not alone. I'm here to support you. Let's plan, let's go do something fun, right? Like, let's try to get our minds off of this while you're deciding what you want to do. Or if it just happened, you might even want to say, hey, or it doesn't even just have to have happened. You could say, I know there's a helpline you can call, where people, the Safe and Sound hotline, we have advocates who work with survivors every day in Somerset County, who are trying to work through the emotional aspects of experiencing harassment or assault or domestic violence. And
Mhm.
do you want me to sit with you, while you call them or text them? Like that's another thing you as a friend could do.
Yeah, for sure. As being a friend, I know that it could be very difficult to gauge sometimes what you can do. You might not have all the answers. You might not know the level of severity of the situation or how to handle it. And there are lots of resources where you can talk to someone else and they can better help you gauge the situation and what you should do, be able to talk to your friend. And support you in those ways if you're maybe unsure what to do. I know it could be a very difficult situation and hard thing to navigate. And even as the friend, you have resources that you can turn to and provide to your friend um, to help you navigate the situation.
Yeah, you could even call or text our helpline for support, even if your
Mhm.
friend isn't involved. You don't have to name the friend or yourself. You can just say, "My friend's going through this, and I'm really struggling, and I don't know how to support them." And we can support you on the helpline in that way. So I'm really glad you just brought that up, Ella. For me, I also think that uh, since this question is a little difficult to answer, very, it's not like a yes or no really kind of question. I really just want to emphasize to people that we want to be mindful of, the persons, the survivors, choices, boundaries, and consent, because those are things that were violated. Those were things that the person who is harassing them or has assaulted them took away from them. And as the friend, you don't want to violate that further. So, again, even if that person is in danger and you have to report, we would recommend bringing them into the process and asking them what they need. What are your concerns about reporting? Um, do you want to come with me? What do you want to say? Right? Like, so involving them in that conversation is really important to their own healing too.
Mhm. I think that's super important because you, as the friend, are bringing power back to your friend in their ability to make choices with what they do. And I think that could be super helpful, even if it's not something they want to report, by giving them the opportunity and the power to make the decisions and let them know that you're supporting them no matter what.
Totally. And that's what makes a good friend, right? That's what
Mhm.
we want to be in this situation. So, was there anything that we missed, Ella, that you wanted to touch on today?
Um, I think we touched on everything, honestly. Just to reiterate, if your friend is in immediate danger, I think it's important to know that it is something that you should report and getting your friend involved is probably one of the best ways to ensure that you are handling the situation as best as you can and they have the opportunity to express the situation the way they want to, as well as you letting them know that you're there to support them.
Love it. And just one thing I'll end on is we didn't really talk about this before, but like harassment is something that usually happens in a pattern. It's
Mm,
more than once. It's like it's bullying, right? And sexual harassment itself is actually protected within New Jersey schools, many other schools. It depends on, your state and country and all that. But if it is happening in the school or it's happening between classmates, like that may be breaking school rules and even the law. So like again, your friend has the ultimate decision, but if they're in danger, go ahead and report and bring them into the conversation.
mm.
But we want everyone to be safe, and we want people to know that there's support available. So with that, I'm just going to mention the Safe and Sound Somerset helpline one more time. It's call or text 24/7, and the number is at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on video, 866-685-1122. So with that, again, we're a listening and support, and we have free services on our helpline. So give us a call if you want to talk. And otherwise, I just want to thank you, Ella, so much for bringing in such a thoughtful response to this question.
Of course, thank you so much for having me speak on it.